Live from the KNBC-TV studios, you're watching the #1 newscast in Southern California, the Channel 4 News at 11.
At the stage of the game, you know, you'd have to say not guilty.
At this stage of the game, if she was still on the Simpson jury, but she is not. Francine Bunton, thrown off the jury today, speaks out at her home tonight and makes this revelation. If she had to hand down a verdict today, she could not, at this point, convict O.J. Simpson of murder. Good evening. It's 11 o'clock. I'm Kelly Lang.
And I'm Chuck Henry for Paul Moyer tonight.
And our top story on the news at 11 o'clock, the Simpson jury, as expected, shrunk again this morning. The judge, as expected, kicked another juror off the panel and replaced her with an alternate. The latest juror to vacate her seat, Francine Florio Bunton, dismissed today under a cloud of misconduct claims. Replacing Bunton in the jury box, a 71-year-old African-American woman. The makeup of the jury as it stands tonight, 8 African-Americans, 2 whites, and 2 Latinos, adding up to 9 women and 3 men. When Bunton first got home today, reporters were waiting to mob her, as you can imagine. She did not want to talk then, but tonight she has changed her mind, and she has bared her thoughts to us extensively. Phil Schuman is live at Bunton's home in San Gabriel. He talked with her one-on-one. Phil?
Well, Kelly, tonight she appears to be a woman at peace. Disappointed, of course.
It was a...
Francine Florio Bunton, happy to be home, happy to be an ex-Simpson juror.
It was an experience. I think they had some negative aspects and it had some positive aspects.
Mrs. Robertson, would you please draw a name for seat number 12?
She says she told Judge Ito she didn't do anything wrong. No secret notes from jurors, no book deals. But she says the judge didn't like her answers and sent her home when all she was trying to do was work hard on following the rules, following the case.
And I was trying to get the facts down and, you know, and hopefully I was trying to listen to it all, and I really hadn't tried to even try to put it all together.
She says the trial is going slowly, and the jurors don't like that.
Judge Ito is trying to speed it up, so I think that I hopefully now, for the people that are left, I hope it goes speedily, and I hope they get out of there as soon as they can. You know, there's no more delays.
She is the 8th juror to be dismissed and the most outspoken. Earlier in the day, she was surrounded by the media. She denounced as petty widely publicized claims by ex-juror Jeanette Harris that she stepped on Harris and kicked another black man on purpose.
I don't remember kicking anybody. I mean, I remember stepping on a juror's toes as I walked into the jury room one day, but I don't remember ever kicking anybody.
So she's making this up for...
I don't know if she's making it up. Maybe I did. Maybe I did, you know, maybe as I walked in the jury room I did kick her and I didn't notice and I didn't say I'm sorry.
And she said she did not lead the so-called juror revolt after the 3 deputies were dismissed.
I know that there was one day that we dressed up in dark clothing to kind of say goodbye to the deputies, the 3 deputies that had left real suddenly. But that was not meant to be a revolt.
As we talked on her front lawn, Florio admitted she twice tried to get off the jury, but agreed to stick it out. Then the newest controversy over the notes and the book, and she was happy to be dismissed. Would you serve on another jury?
Sure. Yeah, you know, not right away. Maybe have to, you know, forget about this experience for a while. But yeah, you know, all in all, you can't give up on the system, right? I mean, you know, you have to keep doing your jury service duty.
Then a quick pose for another camera with her baseball-playing son, and into the house. Almost.
Goodbye, you guys. You take it easy out here. I feel sorry for you people.
Before she could get all the way away, yet another request for yet another interview. Back live now, she said the judge didn't give her any special instructions about what she could or could not say, beyond a request not to divulge any other personal information about the jurors still on the panel. Jurors that she says she will be rooting for. She says that she believes they can and will come to a verdict if they would only be left alone. I'm Phil Schuman reporting live in San Gabriel. Back to you in Burbank.
Thanks, Phil. Another important development in the O.J. Simpson case today. This one occurred inside the courtroom. Judge Ito dealing a blow to the defense team, a major defeat. He ruled the tapes of O.J. Simpson's interview with police, the interview that he gave the day after the murders, could not be played to the jury, could not be admitted as evidence. The defense team wanted those tapes admitted. This is the issue. O.J. Simpson on the day after the murders coming out of police headquarters. He's just given detectives a 32-minute interview. The defense would love to have the jury listen to that interview in court because that would mean O.J. Simpson wouldn't have to testify and open himself up to cross-examination by Marcia Clark.
We have a lot of questions we want to pose to the defendant about this statement, and we eagerly await that opportunity. But the defense would like to preclude us from the ability to cross-examine, and so they would like to force us to present this statement that we cannot cross-examine.
Ms. Clark says that. We'd welcome this opportunity. Well, they very well get that opportunity, but they can't force it. It's because he wants to get up here, if he does, and tell the world that he's innocent.
After 40 minutes of bickering, it took Judge Ito 3 seconds to render a decision.
Prosecution request to reopen is denied.
That means that if O.J. Simpson wants to make a statement, it'll have to be on the witness stand, where he'll also face cross-examination by Marcia Clark. Next in the O.J. Simpson case, no court on Monday. That's because of Memorial Day holiday. On Tuesday, criminalist Cullen Yamauchi will be back on the witness stand. Court will reconvene Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. Kelly?
In world news tonight, very disturbing video from civil war-torn Bosnia. It shows UN peacekeepers who are being held hostage by the Serbs. They are literally being tied up and used as human shields in strategic locations. This video was broadcast on Serbian television. It shows the captured peacekeepers tied up or chained to ammunition dumps, to radar sites, and to other strategic places, human shields so that NATO warplanes will not bomb those locations.
Any more bombing, they'll be the first to go. Understood? If the bombing starts again, I've been instructed to tell you that we will die for the sake of NATO. Over.
The Serbs have captured dozens of UN peacekeepers. Most of them are French. And tonight, France is threatening to pull its forces out of Bosnia if UN troops do not get better protection. Chuck?
In Washington, a Senate committee today approved the nomination of Dr. Henry Foster to become Surgeon General. This was a major victory for President Clinton and his embattled nominee. Foster's nomination seemed in real jeopardy just a few months ago when controversy erupted over how many abortions he performed in his medical career. But today, 2 Republicans helped Foster win committee approval. Now the nomination will go to the full Senate for a final vote. Some Republicans are promising a filibuster. And another fence jumper at the White House today, the second one this week. This is the man who sent Secret Service agents scrambling this morning. They grabbed 24-year-old Andrew Joplin just moments after he hopped a 10-foot fence along the east wing. Agents interrogated Joplin for about 2 hours, then charged him with unlawful entry. He was not carrying a weapon. All of this just 3 days after that other intruder jumped the fence and was shot by agents on the White House grounds. And only 6 days since they beefed up White House security to a new high. Kelly?
Consumer news underway tonight, a massive nationwide recall of cigarettes. The problem, possible contamination in some cigarette filters. The huge recall involves Marlboros and several other popular brands made by Philip Morris. Beverly White is here. She has all the details for you. Beverly?
Yes, Kelly, Philip Morris won't confirm whether the contaminated cigarettes ever made it off the assembly line. But just in case, sales of select brands are about to come to a screeching halt. Marlboro is the fastest selling cigarette brand here at the Zig Market on South Figueroa Street. But vendors may soon have to ship the familiar red and gold boxes right back to the manufacturer. The nation's largest cigarette maker, Philip Morris, just launched the nation's largest cigarette recall. The company confirms some of its product can make smokers sick.
We are going to recall about 8 or 9 billion cigarettes, which basically are all the packages that consumers have or that are on sale at retail, and all the cartons that retailers have. We're going to recall those back to Philip Morris and restock them with fresh product.
The problem is with a product used to strengthen the filter called the plasticizer. It gives off toxic methyl isothiocyanate when the cigarette is lit. Symptoms include temporary discomfort, irritation to the eyes, ear, nose, and throat, plus dizziness, coughing, and wheezing. Anti-smoking activists call the recall absurd, saying a company that makes products that are lethal and responsible for hundreds of thousands of deaths in the United States seems suddenly to have taken an interest in a little dizziness. But once the word gets around, the recall could deny millions of smokers their favorite top brands, including Marlboro, Benson & Hedges, Merit, and Virginia Slims. Now, Philip Morris says the potentially tainted brands will be off the shelves for just a few days. The company expects to spend roughly $100 million on the recall. Kelly, Chuck?
Thanks,
Okay.
Bev. Lots more news coming up, including the Jackie interview. The interview that Jackie Kennedy gave in the days following the assassination, released to the public for the first time.
And here at home, animal control officers raid a kennel in the valley. Will go along on the raid.
And just what we didn't need on a getaway weekend, a pipe bomb scare on 2 major freeways.
And then Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley proving the doubters wrong tonight. We'll show you how. Fritz.
Well, I never doubted it for a second. And I have no doubts about our holiday weekend forecast, folks. The AccuWeather coming up. Please stay tuned.
You're watching Channel 4 News at 11 with Paul Moyer and Kelly Lang. Fritz Coleman with the AccuWeather forecast. And Fred Rogan on sports. Coverage you can count on.
A kennel in Sun Valley. All the animals, scores of them, are gone tonight after animal control officials raided the kennel earlier today. Mary Lou's Dog Patch Kennel is out of business tonight after 10 years of struggle and dedication to animals. So what went wrong? Patrick Healy went out there tonight to get some answers.
The kennel is closed and empty, its owner heartbroken. This apparently one of those situations where there are no bad intentions, only bad results. The squalor and the overcrowding. Seldom do animal control officers find conditions at this extreme. After 2 inspections of this Sun Valley home kennel, they came back to shut it down. They counted 6 dozen dogs, but that's not all. There were also goats, roosters, chickens, all kept by the woman neighbors know as the Dog Patch Lady, 58-year-old Mary Lou Rossignol, so fond of her animals she let them take over her ramshackle house as well. Surrounded by this, Mary Lou is at the same time blind to it, unable to admit to herself that she can't keep it up.
I know the facility is old, but the animals are maintained. I have kennel help. Sometimes I don't have as much as I want.
I don't think anybody questions how much love Mary Lou has for these animals.
And so animal control went about its job, not always easy, confiscating the animals for boarding in city facilities where they will receive veterinary care. Hours after the officers had left, surrounded by empty runs, Mary Lou still grasps at the hope she can get her animals back.
My heart is with those animals, you know, and it's real hard for me to be away from them.
Authorities say it is possible that felony animal cruelty charges could be filed, but they say they are less concerned with punishment than the humane issue, that so many animals cannot be allowed to be kept in such conditions. Patrick Healy, Channel 4 News, Sun Valley.
Okay, Patrick, thank you. Maybe you got caught in it. A pipe bomb scare on a couple of freeways today just as drivers were trying to get away from the Memorial Day weekend. The result was gridlock. Take a look at that. Parts of the Harbor Freeway and San Bernardino Freeway had to be shut down because of reports of 2 suspicious objects on the freeways. Possible pipe bombs, went the reports. Look carefully and you can see the bomb squad blowing up one of the objects. Turns out they were not bombs. One object was just a piece of pipe. The other was a battery pack.
For a lot of folks, the most important thing this weekend is the weather. Our holiday weekend weather forecast. You're looking live at LAX. A lot of traffic down there tonight. Fritz will have the forecast next.
Plus, trapped and moved from a residential neighborhood, a huge mountain lion.
And will the real Dennis Rodman please stand up? Brett has the real.
And Michael and Lisa Marie proving the cynics wrong.
Also, an old interview released for the first time. New insights into Jackie Kennedy. What we didn't know before. Stay tuned.
Whoa, imagine waking up and finding this in your backyard. That's what happened to a man in Phoenix today. But hold on, there is a happy ending. Officers shot the mountain lion with a tranquilizer dart. Then they took him to the mountains and set him free. At first, the big cat was not so sure he wanted to go. Officers think he wandered into the suburbs looking for food. People who crossed his path today said he never threatened to attack anyone. Well, now he is safe in the wilds tonight.
Beautiful animal.
Yes.
Man, oh boy.
And here's the weather prince. Happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm taking
another year.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's astonishing.
Our condolences, sir.
I've defied medical science once again. We're pressing on. There's actual sunshine. I'm going to develop a natural skin tone by the end of the weekend, instead of my Casper the Friendly Ghost appearance currently. Have a great weekend, folks. Outside tonight to Westwood, the the movie capital of North America. French Kiss, fabulous movie, a great way to spend the night, a romantic way to spend the night. Here are the numbers tonight. We had a high today of 74 and a low 56. Right now we stand at 62, relative humidity 78%. Barometer 29.99 inches and rising southeast winds at Burbank Airport 9 miles an hour. Normal high 74, low 59. Sun up tomorrow morning at 5:44 and setting again at 7:56. We have a very thick marine layer. It's about 3,000 feet thick, not the mile thick that it was on Wednesday and Thursday when we had our bad problems with very little clearing. And the old marine layer extends about 1,000 miles off the coast, so we have one to burn through, but we should get through it by mid or late morning, allowing us the majority of the day under sunny skies, although hazy sun, both from moisture from the marine layer and also smog that we haven't seen in a while. It still will stay at moderate levels. So morning clouds and fog, mid to late morning clearing, mid-70s downtown, nearly 80 in the valleys, upper 60s at the beach. And then Monday and Tuesday, we're going to stir things up and get thicker again. So low clouds and fog may persist and not burn off, and there could be coastal drizzle as we had earlier this week. More of that weird El Nino weather pattern. Let's go to the 5-day forecast. Normal temperatures both tomorrow and Sunday, mid-morning clearing. Then we thicken it up Monday and Tuesday. The sea breeze increases, the marine layer thickens somewhat, and we get sort of a general funkiness that we learned to hate this week, and then we'll be back to normal on Wednesday. But all in all, I think it will be a reasonable holiday weekend, particularly tomorrow and Sunday. Have a safe one, and we'll see you here on Monday.
You too.
That's good.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
And a good birthday.
Thank you.
She was the Queen of Camelot, First Lady Jackie Kennedy. Then came the assassination. Now we know exactly what she was thinking in the wake of that tragedy. We know because of an interview that has just been released. It's an interview she gave to an author in the days following the JFK assassination. Wendy Takuda has more.
It is a new window into the thoughts of the woman America always treated like royalty. Today, the Kennedy Museum released in its entirety 34 pages of notes handwritten by journalist Theodore White. They're from an interview done only 1 week after President Kennedy was assassinated. Jackie Kennedy Onassis talked about that day when her husband was shot, how she held out hope at first, but added, "I knew he was dead." She told Theodore White, "I'm not going to be the widow Kennedy. When this is over, I'm going to crawl into the deepest retirement there is." Some of the notes are hard to decipher, but the corrections are in the handwriting of Jackie Kennedy Onassis. She talked about her hopes for her son, only 3 years old at the time. "I want John to be a fine young man," she said. "He's so interested in planes. Maybe he'll be an astronaut or just plain John Kennedy fixing planes on the ground." She talked about Caroline. At the funeral, she says, "Caroline held my hand like a soldier. She's my helper. She's mine now." It was that role as a mother and a wife for which many tourists at the Kennedy Museum remember her.
Yeah, I think she was really quite a lady.
It was Theodore White who first used the term Camelot in connection with the Kennedys. But Jackie Kennedy Onassis said it was her husband who fell in love with the musical, especially the famous line, "Don't let it be forgot that once there was a spot for one brief shining moment that was known as Camelot." Wendy Takuda, Channel 4 News.
Theodore White donated the papers to the Kennedy Library under the condition they not be released until 1 year after Jackie's death. Kelly?
All right, coming up for us, Mr. and Mrs. Michael Jackson celebrate a milestone.
And coming up in sports, the revenge of the worm in the NBA. And no, this isn't old video. It happened tonight, but it sure looks familiar.
The cynics said it would never last, but today Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley celebrated their first wedding anniversary. A year ago, Michael and Lisa Marie were the world's most famous newlyweds. Since then, they have, well, kept pretty much to themselves, never commenting on their marriage. But Lisa Marie did tell a magazine recently that Michael, as well as myself, have been severely misunderstood as human beings. And how is the happy couple celebrating the big event today? Well, not even their publicists would tell us about their anniversary plans.
Well, they made it to 1 year. Okay, well, in today's day and age.
Next year, year two.
Okay, well, hi, Brett.
Hi, we got pro basketball. The San Antonio Spurs were regarded as the best team in the NBA playoffs until they lost the first 2 games at home to Houston. The series switches to Houston tonight. We're even there. Dennis Rodman is a role model. The Worm gets the start tonight for the Spurs. First half, Rockets continue to dominate. Hakeem Olajuwon with a nice move for 2 of his 43. Rockets by 5. Later, Robert Horry jams in the alley-oop. He had 17, Rockets by 9 at the half. But the Spurs finally come alive. Fourth quarter, part of a 9-2 run. Sean Elliott drills a three-pointer. He had 21. Spurs with the lead. David Robinson, playing like an MVP, hits 2 of his 29. Spurs take Game 3, 107-102. They still trail the series 2-1. Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals tomorrow. Indiana and Orlando at 12:30 here on Channel 4. Baseball, the Angels enjoying deep thoughts in the dugout like, hey, 8 straight wins would be great. Fourth inning, Angels leading Boston 2-1. JT Snow drives home Jim Edmonds, 3-1 Angels. But it falls apart in the 6th. Reggie Jefferson at the plate with the bases loaded. He takes Mike Butcher's pitch deep to right for a grand slam. Red Sox lead 6-3. Defensive play of the game by Tim Salmon. Mo Vaughn hits a fly ball to right. Salmon makes it look easy with the sliding grab, but the Angels' winning streak does come to an end. They lose at 8-3. At Tiger Stadium, it was Polish night in Detroit. The kids today love those polkas. Tigers hosting the White Sox. Now, have we seen this before? 2 outs in the 9th. 1 man on. Tigers down by 1. That's Kirk Gibson going deep to right for a 2-run homer. 1988, Dodgers come to mind. Tigers come from behind to win it. Gibson with a power high fives at the plate. Tigers win it 8-7. Cleveland beats Toronto. Texas over Minnesota. Kansas City and Oakland were winners. Seattle beat Baltimore, but Ken Griffey Jr. broke his wrist, may be out 3 months. In Montreal, Hubie, the Expo mascot, trying to get the home folks' minds on baseball during the hockey playoffs. Tough in Canada. Dodgers taking on the Expos. Ramon Martinez with a game he'll want to forget. Tim Laker with a double to right center, 2-run score. Expos lead 3-0. Expos score 5 runs in the 5th. Former Dodger Henry Rodriguez with a single deep to right. Will Cordero scores. Martinez allows 7 runs on 6 hits. Dodgers try to rally in the 9th. They're trailing 9-4, but they've got the bases loaded, only 1 out. Raul Mondesi bloops it to short center. Will it fall in? No. Mike Lansing. Nice catch. Dodgers lose 9-4. Florida won, so did Philadelphia. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati won. The Braves beat the Astros. The Giants beat the Mets. A last look at the night in the majors. He's a fan of Houston. You ain't from these parts, are you, son? In St. Louis, catch of the game, Reds' Ron Gant with a towering shot to center. Check out Ray Langford. He leaps at the wall and robs Gant of a possible home run. Finally, in Philadelphia, Padres' Tony Gwynn with a fly ball to shallow left. Greg Jeffries makes the nice diving grab to rob him. Okay, I'm glad baseball's back. At the college baseball playoffs, Cal State Fullerton eliminated James Madison 9-1. USC eliminated Fresno State 22-17. 22-17. That was for the Freedom Bowl. Long Beach State beat Pepperdine 10-2. College softball World Series in Oklahoma City, UCLA taking on Iowa. This is the Bruins' Tanya Harding. That's her name. Solo home run to center in the 3rd, ties the game at 1. Then Aaliyah Polson follows with a solo homer to right. UCLA wins game 1 2-1. They also won the nightcap against Southwestern Louisiana 3-0 to advance. Cal State Fullerton lost to Arizona 11-0 in that same tournament. Titans will have to win tomorrow or be eliminated. NHL playoffs at Madison Square Garden. Rangers hosting the Flyers. New York can't clear the puck, so Carl Dykhouse knocks it down and one-times it by Glenn Healy. Flyers lead it 2-0. Later, still 2-0. Rob Damio fires it in. Watch Michael Renberg tip it past Healy to make it 3-0. Flyers advance. They win 4-1. Finally, check of the game, check of the night in the New Jersey-Pittsburgh game. Penguins' Sean McEachern aiming for Scott Stevens. This is a check. He knocks him head over heels into the Devils' bench. Help! Help! I've fallen. I can't get up. Devils win 2-1 in overtime. They lead the series 3-1. And that's a look at sports.
That is terrible. Now, don't you go away, Brett, because we're going to find you a dog, so you won't be
are.
lonely anymore.
Thank
Next, a new way to find a pet.
It's online adoption. Stay tuned.
There are a lot of pets who need homes. Now, a new high-tech way to match animals with owners. Up in Portland, dogs and cats up for adoption at the Humane Society are online. Would-be owners just to search through this computerized pet store, look at their photographs. They are on the internet.
And that'll do it for us tonight. Have a great weekend.
Terrific. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.